Chase, I imagine playing Syracuse on Saturday will bring back a lot of memories from the game last year. Just what do you recall about last year's game? Was it kind of a blur?
Yeah, just getting thrown in right before halftime, and then doing what I can to get a W and finish the game.
You go in there just kind of expecting, since the last 2 years that Clemson has had to play with a backup quarterback, that you're going to have to be more ready than ever?
No, not really. Not last year. Just got reps in when Kelly had left and during practice. So just tried to be as ready as I could. Not expecting anything to happen, but it did. So.
How many times do you think you've watched that game since that happened? I guess since the season was over.
I probably watched it once, and it was just a film. I've seen a lot of highlights from it, but I never. My grandparents will watch it a lot, and they'll pull it up, and I'm like, I don't even really watch it. So.
When people talk about the biggest plays of the national championship year last year, of course that fourth down throw you made is talked about as a season saver. How much did you maybe reflect on that in the weeks after the game, and is it still brought up to you by fans or classmates? Do they still kind of look back on that?
Yeah, fans still bring it up if they see me out and about. But it was definitely a big play. Obviously, it was fourth down. So, but I think after that game, as a whole, we came together as a team, just a lot closer. We just sat behind, Trevor, and he led us and that defense. So from then on, we just kind of, took control of the course and just, let other teams have it.
Can one play like that kind of build a ton of confidence? Can you take a ton off of just making that one big play in that one huge moment that, again, was possibly a game saver?
Yeah, I took a lot of confidence just from that game. I've always had confidence in general, but after that throw and then finishing the game, winning, from then on, I just kind of, had greater confidence going into each and every other game, knowing that I can go in. If something were to happen again, I could go in and finish.
Is it crazy to think that you wouldn't have been in that position on 4th and 6 if it wasn't for Gage to make a false start on 4th and 1?
Yeah, we joke around about that, and he's like, you're welcome for doing that, and I just kind of laugh, and we joke about that a lot. So.
Go back 2 years ago. I don't know if you traveled up to Syracuse. Were you in that?
No, I was at home.
Okay. I just wanted to see if you've been in the atmosphere yet.
I haven't, but I'm excited for it.
In the opener against Georgia Tech, you were really accurate. You could have easily been 7 for 7 with 3 touchdowns. Is that something, especially on those fade routes, on the deep passes, that's something you've really worked on, is your accuracy?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty accurate quarterback. I want to give my receivers a chance every time. I think last year I could have, gave the receivers a better opportunity, but going into the offseason, and me and Trevor really honed in on just being accurate, giving them a chance, knowing the position of the receiver and things like that.
Talk about the supporting role you play with Trevor. Seems like y'all have a great relationship. You guys are always communicating on the sidelines. Talk a little bit about y'all's relationship.
Yeah, I'm usually the first one to meet him when he comes off the sideline, just to let him know what I see, what I'm hearing, and then I want to know what he has to say, just so that I know, and we all communicate, Coach Streeter and Tyson, Ben, me and Trevor. So, that's my role right now, and we compete every day on the practice field, and he knows it. He's made me better, and I feel like I've made him better in a lot of areas.
You've been around the program a while now, throwing the ball to a lot of really talented wide receivers. What can you say to this new group of guys that have come in, the Frank Ladsons, the Joseph Ngatas, and the Jalen Lays, and those types?
Yeah, very talented. They're savvy. They want the ball, and there's only one ball, and we got running backs that can tote it, and then obviously about 8 deep at receiver. So they're utilizing their role, and they know that a big play is going to come, and they'll be ready for it. And that's we work on our one-on-one. It's like 70-30, 80-20 for our receivers, and they know that, and they know we're going to give them a chance. And it's just comforting to know, we throw it up, and they're probably going to come down with it.
Chase, year 3, how's your game the most different now than it was last year?
Just knowledge of the game. I knew the offense pretty well last year, and then coming back, I just feel more confident with the offense. Any plays being called, and then recognizing defenses. I feel like I've done a pretty good job with just knowing different exotic defenses, blitz, and things like that. So I think that's something that I worked on in the offseason, and it got a lot better at.
You're a talented guy who could start at a lot of other programs. With Trevor here and maybe with some of the other top recruits are coming in, you kind of have to make peace with yourself in some sort of ways that there's a chance that you may never be the regular starter here even as a senior?
I mean, I come into work every day, and I'm always going to be ready for no matter what. If someone's sick or injured, I'm going to be ready for that, and I really don't look towards the future as far as every day. I'm just day by day, so that's about it.
Chase, you mentioned your grandparents earlier. I know your grandparents moved into the area. You got Coach Kahn as a member of your family.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like having that support system right here around you?
It's good. It's really nice having my grandparents up here, and Coach Kahn. He was my coach at Grayson, and he got the job when going into my senior year. So I've already been committed, but it's cool having him up here and just knowing how hard he's worked. Starting Grayson in 2000 from the ground up, and then earning this opportunity to be the safeties coach, and he's done a tremendous job with it.
Going back to not being the starter, and especially in this day and age when so many talented backup quarterbacks are transferring elsewhere, how much does it help just to hear Coach Sweeney say that he thinks that you will be able to play at the next level, and knowing that just the reputation of Clemson and Trevor Lawrence, you don't necessarily have to be the starter here to be able to go to the next level.
Right. Obviously it feels good to have that come from your head coach. But he sees the way we work, me and Trevor, and how focused we are every day at practice, meetings. Coach Streeter knows that, and so he knows that by Thursday or Saturday, whenever we play, we're going to be prepared, and we're going to be ready to go.
Anything else? Thank you, Chase.
Thanks, Chase.
Thank you, Chase.